All right, y'all, what is going on? Back with another video. It's been a minute since I've done one of these. Been out here grinding, working, trying to get things together for the holidays. Hopefully you guys know a good bit about that. I'm pretty sure you guys do. With that being said, I want to thank everybody who's been watching the content. You guys are absolutely awesome. I really appreciate you guys. I do have a topic I want to talk about really quick, and I think a good bit of people will be able to relate to this. Recently, I moved some of my consoles. I moved 3 of my consoles downstairs into my bedroom. And I know people may think 3 consoles, that's a lot. Why are you gaming that much? Well, I like to game a lot. And that's one thing I do. I do a lot of gaming in my downtime, and I like diversity in my gaming. And I like playing on original real hardware. So I moved my PlayStation 2, 3, and my PlayStation 5 all down to my bedroom, where I have a nice little setup to where, you know, I can casually play after a long day of working or whatever the case may be. And I realized that, you know, location and setup really do matter. It does. It matters a lot. And I touched on this on my last video, where that I am more comfortable with the setup that I have now, and I am gaming a little bit more than I was before. Now, what I did with the stuff upstairs, basically, I set that stuff up for my Xbox and PC, so that's upstairs, and the rest of the game room stuff or the gaming stuff is up there as well. It's kind of like an entertainment area, and but I do not have a couch up there for a reason that I pretty much told everyone before. I work out up there as well, and I don't want the couch to be up there to be a distraction for me not working out. I don't need any excuses. But nevertheless, I want to say this, like, really, location and setup really matters. And it's not a situation where you may think that you don't have anything to play, or you may feel like you're burnt out on gaming. Sometimes it's just the vibe and the atmosphere, or the environment that you're in to play these certain games. Because for me, it's just been a big resurgence on the tons of games I already have, and made me want to go back and play some games that I always see in the back of my mind I'm going to play. But the fact that those games were upstairs in my game room, and it sounds kind of crazy, but the fact that they were upstairs in my game room, I just didn't feel inclined to play, because up there, it just feels like, I guess you would say it just feels like a place where the games are stored. It just feels more like a library than a gaming section. Now, when it comes to where I do most of my content, where, you know, my PC and my content creating setup is, I can play my PC games all day. Like, I could play that because I know that my PC is set up with my, you know, PC desk and my monitors and mouse and keyboard, and even with the controller, I can play right there and just relax and chill. I do have a television up there right next to my PC, where I can hook it up to my television. I can play like a traditional console, which is a really good option. But most of the time, my PC gaming is right there on my desktop. I mean, that's just what it is. As far as the Xbox stuff and Nintendo stuff, I have that hooked up to my television, and it's cool. It's nice to have that there, but I just don't have a couch up there, where I just sit in my computer desk and I play my games there, which is fine. But like I said, it does matter, because like I said, I'm in my PC gaming space, I'm on my desktop. With my PlayStation stuff, I got a nice little setup downstairs in my couch, and it works out just fine. And like I said, with this setup, I'm able to go through and play games that I haven't really been able to play. Like, I'll play and I just want to go back to, like, recently, I went back to play Mortal Kombat 9. Now, obviously, because of the Mortal Kombat collection, you know, that's been a thing. So I went back to play some Mortal Kombat 9, and I'm so engaged in the game on my PlayStation 3, which I have the complete collection with Kratos. I've been so in tune to play that, and I'm trying to get all the unlockables, trying to get the crypts and stuff, do all that stuff, where I have the game also on PC. I just don't have I don't have the motivation to play it on PC for some reason. I don't know. Like I said, it's just location matters. Setup matters. And even though it does look better on the PC, obviously, I mean, you can run that game in 4K if you have a mid-range PC easily, and it runs great. But even with on PC on PS3 where it's still at 60 frames per second, like most fighting games are, you're good to go for the most part. And I think another thing with PS3 and Xbox 360, a lot of these games still look really good today. They play really good even to this day. I went back and played the original Last of Us. Like I said, I've been going back and playing games I want to explore, because The Last of Us on the PS3, they're very hard to get those trophies. Very hard to get those trophies. So I went back to try to get some of those trophies, and even the PS3 version still looks really good. That game looks really good to this day. And even though it's on PS4, it's on PS5, all this other stuff, I get it. And I've played those versions as well. But just going back to play, and I'm sitting there, relaxing in a chair in my bedroom, and it just feels like, you know what it really feels like? It feels like when I was back in college, or when I was back in high school, or even back in middle or elementary school, where I came home from a long day of being out, work, school, or whatever, and I just kick back and I just relax and I've been playing my games. And I think that's where the comfortability, I think that's the word, that's where it comes from. It comes from that, to where I just feel so motivated and feel more relaxed to just play a game and just not worry about stuff. When I'm upstairs in my game room, like I said, it's a game room, and I don't mind playing games up there. And maybe it's because I don't have a couch up there, which, I might need to bite the bullet and do that, but that takes discipline. The only reason why I may feel this way is because of that. Because I'm not relaxed when I'm playing my game. So long story short, location setup matters. Once you get your setup together, you can go back and play games that you haven't played before, or haven't finished, or you can play games that you've played already and just want to play them again. And I think a lot of us deal with that now. A lot of us, people like me, nearly middle-aged, I'm getting old. You want to go home and you just want to relax. You spend time with the family. You just want to play some games and chill. And if you don't have a place where you're comfortable playing games in, you probably won't play those games. You probably feel like that you are, you don't have the time, or you just don't have the comfortability. You just don't feel like, doing things to get everything set up. You don't want to sit in that computer desk in front of a TV. You don't want to sit in one chair in front of the TV. You don't want to play a game on a monitor. You want to play on a bigger TV. Some people may not even want to play on a bigger TV. They just may want to play on a monitor for whatever reason. They just don't have that setup to do so. So, and I think this is another reason why, I think that handheld gaming has taken off, for the past 10, 20, 30 years. People feel comfortable just having a handheld in their game and just in their hand and just playing. A lot of people do mobile gaming now because it's more comfortable, instead of just trying to find a way to set all this stuff up and play games on the television. This is one thing. My wife, she doesn't play much games, but if you get it set up for her, she'll play. Like, for instance, I will put a Nintendo, like I said, a Nintendo Switch in front of her, and I'll have it on the TV, and she will like, how to get to this, how to get to that, and she just tunes out. Because, people who don't necessarily game that much, they're not trying to go through all the motions to actually get to a game. But once I set it up for her, or like, hey, press this button, you start this game, look, she's good. She goes in and she plays, she's fine. And that's just a very casual side of things. Some people just don't want to go through the motions to get a game set up, even though if it takes a couple of buttons. But, and I think that's where I kind of fit in at. I don't mind, because I have all my consoles set up and they're all up and running, all plugged in or whatever. But for me, sometimes it just takes me to go get a controller and I'm good. Sometimes I don't want to get the controller, so I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't play. Or sometimes, even with my PCs, like I have I play my PC, but sometimes, I just don't want to go through the motions of clicking a few buttons. And I'll just say, you know what? I'll just go play it on my consoles because, whatever. It's just stuff like that it happens that way. But for me, the way my setup is now downstairs, it works for me. It works just fine. Even upstairs, it works right now. I did set my my Xbox, 360, my original Xbox. I don't have an Xbox Series anymore. Basically, all my Xbox games that I've been playing, they're basically on my PC now. So I may just bite the bullet and buy a couch for upstairs so I can actually play up there more casually, because at the end of the day, I just want to plop on the couch and just chill out. But I know I'm in my weight loss journey to where I've already obtained, well, I ain't gonna say obtained, I've already lost about 40 pounds. And I want to continue that journey until I get to the weight that I want to. And I do believe that a couch would kind of hinder that. But at the end of the day, I do need the discipline and not let that be my Achilles heel. I need to say, all right, this is going to be a thing, but at the same time, I need to be able to put this couch together and be able to work out at the same time. Hold on, y'all. Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay. Are y'all done already? Yep, we're good. Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right. And they got my stuff done quick. They're not playing any games today. Maybe it's they're motivated to work as well. But nevertheless, I'm going to get up out of here because my paperwork's here. That means I can get ready to get back on the road. And this is basically what I was saying. Location matters. Location matters. Setup matters. And you guys let me know what you guys think about this as well. Do you have the same issue? Do you want to have a good setup to play your games? And if you do, how does that work out for you? But for me, I started to realize that, and it's been phenomenal for the past couple of weeks. It's been great. So I'm going to get up out of here. I will see y'all on another video. I really appreciate you guys. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.